Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. I made a commitment that there won't ever be a justification for us to get a separation. We will manage anything. I truly didn't have any desire to get hitched yet. We just got hitched on the grounds that Unpleasant was crying, actually attempting to sort out among us definitely how to be an organization. Right? And with respect to how we present that to individuals, you all know why is Will Smith's most seasoned child uncovering Jay for being a gold digger right when we believed that the chaotic circumstance couldn't deteriorate. Will's three-pointer just bounced into the discussion, and he is uncovering Jada for R involving Will for his cash and clout, and presently she's attempting to drive him into a separation that as well as carried receipts to uncover how Jada is attempting to get her hands on Will's $350 million fortune before she separates from him, and three-pointer has a great deal to say regarding it. We ride together, we together, terrible marriage forever. So it seems like everyone in the Smith family is similarly as worn out on Jada as the fans are on the grounds that she has been spilling all the off-the-record pieces of information constant, and it's getting sort of humiliating. At first, it appeared as though everyone was cool with Jay spilling a few special kinds of mystery and presenting the most blazing tea at each open door. However, it seems like she has at last gone too far on that. Grounds that new reports recommend her most recent disclosures have caused some significant pressure among relatives now on the off chance that you felt that things couldn't get any more insane. Well, lock in. Buttercup, since Will's most memorable child, three-pointer, who he had with his ex-Cher Zampino, has entered the visit to drop a sensation he's getting down on Jada to be a gold digger who has her will folded over her little finger. Three-pointer claims Will's perishing just to end the marriage. Yet he can't on the grounds that he and Jada didn't join prior to getting hitched, so he's fundamentally stuck now. Being caught in his marriage isn't precisely letting the cat out of the bag, since individuals have been pondering for a really long time why he would simply not like to leave the marriage. I mean, obviously things have gone south in their marriage, so for what reason is he actually staying next to her? Yet we should hold up now. Stand by briefly. How about we get one thing straight? I'm making an effort not to put all the fault on Jada in light of the fact that Will has his reasonable portion of wreck in this marriage as well. Yet individuals simply center more around Jada on the grounds that she can't keep her mouth shut and her tricks on the low. I mean, the two of them have ultimately depended on some side hanky-panky and subtle connections. Yet Will's simply an ace at keeping things on the LW, and to this end, certain individuals feel that he's guiltless when he's truly not, but shouting out on maintaining mysteries. There's one individual who knows all about the show and what's happening, and that is Will's most established child. Three-pointer Will was hitched to three-pointer's mother, Cherie, for several years, harking back to the 90s, and everyone realizes that Will was swinging it in and out of town while he was hitched to her, assuming, guess what? I mean, he even experienced passionate feelings for Jada while he was as yet hitched to Cherie, and as per him, things got so awful that one time he was out to supper with Cher. He went to the restroom to cry since he realized that he should be with Jada. Me and Cherie went to supper, and I plunked down with Cherie, and it was quite possibly of the most peculiar feeling I at any point had after we had that discussion, and we were at the Palm, and I recollect that I needed to get up from supper when I had an acknowledgement that I wasn't with the individual I should be with. I went in the restroom at the Palm and I separated in tears. Obviously this L to reports that Will and Jada were just a tad while he was hitched to Cherie, and there was a ton of fine. The stowaway and subtle connections and hanky-panky continuing anyway. Jada has reliably denied this, guaranteeing that she and Will got involved later. The separation, we didn't take part in an extramarital entanglements, we didn't have an heir, he was hitched. Let's not mince words about that, not by any stretch of the imagination, but rather people aren't accepting any of that, particularly in light of the fact that Cherie was so unpleasant towards Will and Jada after the separation anyway. They figured out how to fix things up and, surprisingly, sort of kind of became companions, and three-pointer got to know Jada, and he even fostered a decent stepson relationship with Jada. Now three-pointer and Jada have forever been cool. Yet presently, sources are uncovering that three-pointer imagines that the genuine reason for the show is that Jada is rocking the boat deliberately to drive Will into a separation, since she and Will don't have a prenup, and she has her eyes set on Will's financial balance. However, genuinely, you all might we at any point be acknowledged second for only a millisecond. This marriage has been a wreck for a past, while yet things hit an unheard of degree of tumultuous back in 2020, when August Elena dropped a stunner in a meeting. He not just spilled the tea about it. Undertaking with Jada yet additionally guaranteed that Will gave his approval for the entire thing. I really plunked down with Will and had a discussion. He gave me his approval, and I completely gave myself to that at relationship for quite a long time of my life now. This show might have blown over sooner or later, and we would have continued on and overlooked it. However, for reasons unknown, with Will and Jada chose to go on the red table talk and address the issue. This entire trap discussion wound up exacerbating things in light of the fact that Jada wound up conceding to taking part in an extramarital entanglement. Well, you realize, I think from that point, as time continued, I got into an alternate set of snare with August. The entire circumstance transformed into an all-out bizarre, and fans began discussing how rough their probably truly flawless marriage had become. It was only all exceptionally humiliating for Will, and as per three-pointer, the embarrassment denoted their defining moment for Jada, and it resembled the start of her miscreant period presently. It's not hard to see the reason why fans accept three-pointer, since there was a stage where it seemed like Jada's fundamental be eject on the red casual conversation was Will and listen. She feels some significant tea throughout the long-term three-pointers. Additionally brought up how unusual it was that Jada approved of slighting Will on camera and afterward posting it on Instagram. Would you say she's been instrumental in you and I rethinking our relationship? I would agree. Don't simply begin recording me without inquiring as to whether you could film me up. Saint, come assist us with again satisfying. I'm actually managing absurdity. Don't know. She better believe it, because she doesn't presently. Jada ultimately emerged to uncover that the main explanation she wedded Will was that she had out of the blue gotten pregnant with Jaden, and her mother had placed the strain on her to get hitched. I truly didn't have any desire to get hitched yet. We just got hitched in light of the fact that Unpleasant was crying. I was under such a lot of tension, being a youthful entertainer, being youthful, and I was very much like pregnant. I just was very much pregnant, as I didn't have the foggiest idea what to do. However, I just realized I never needed to be hitched. Three-pointer has felt the same way about this and Jada for some time since she began discussing the family on the show, and despite the fact that he needed to express his genuine thoughts, he at last concluded that it was not up to him to discuss it yet with Jada on this new book visit for her. Book commendable, discussing everybody in the family. Three-pointer concluded the time had come to put any misinformation to rest and give Jada a painful but necessary consequence. Several months prior, we thought we'd at last catch a break when Jada's red TBL talk got the X before this year. However, at that point she pulled a switch card and made things a stride further while she went on her book visit for her journal. Commendable. She's been continuing and endlessly during this visit, and she even ventured to pronounce her undying adoration for Tupac. Perfect partners. I think this sort of romanticized thought of like a perfect partner. There's a wide range of meanings of perfect partner. Yet no doubt, most certainly, I don't suppose on the off chance that there is such an incredible cast existence as I most certainly think Pac and I have voyaged a couple of together. She even said that TPSC proposed to her while he was in jail at Rikers, the point at which he requested that I get hitched. He was at Rikers like he wanted a stone. He really wanted, in light of our fellowship, and as a result of all that we had experienced together, he simply needed to feel that set establishment. Now three-pointer viewed this as humiliating for Will, since Will has been going through years discussing how he was envious of Tupac and his fellowship with Jada. You ever desirous of the adoration Jada had for Tupac? Oh dear, definitely. Yet she simply cherished him, like he was the picture of flawlessness, yet he was with that new ruler. So it resembled, I never could, even we were in a room, 2 or multiple times I was unable to address him. And you all know precisely exact thing exacerbated it when Jada uncovered that she and Will had been isolated beginning around 2016. Was that in 2016 you and Will concluded that you planned to carry on with totally different lives? It was anything but a separation on paper, yet it was a separation. So from the year 2016, which is quite a while back now, yes, all have been art. Definitely. She likewise guaranteed that the explanation it took them such a long time to emerge, and